Two things sprung to mind. One, he was talking about this king being a king, making that sound like a bad thing. Does he not realise that he is a prince and his father is the king of a country, which is a very special thing here, and his brother will become king, and he is in line of still in the throne to become king. Secondly, he shouldn't be getting involved in politics
Absolutely not.
At all.
Absolutely not. Just when you think Prince Harry can't stoop any lower or say anything more stupid, he goes and does this. Utterly ridiculous. He's brought the royal family yet again into disrepute. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing to our country, to our reputation. As you know, President Trump has a very warm relationship, a very warm rapport with King Charles, and especially with Prince William. He gets on with them, and Prince William and him have sort of got quite a bond going now. Harry has just waded in and made this stupid social gaffe, which is insulting to President Trump. And the other thing as well, it's insulting to the American people. Now, Harry is a guest in America. He's not an American citizen. He's still a British citizen. He is a guest in that country, and he stands in that country and insults their president on national television. You just do not do that, regardless of his social status. Where's his manners? Where's his... this is a man who he has been taught from birth to be kind, to be courteous, how to speak to people, how to speak to heads of states of other countries. He's been born into this life. He has no excuse, Alexander, as to what he said and why he said it. The other thing as well, that was a very liberal audience on Stephen Colbert's show. Did you hear the booing? From that very liberal audience when he made that jibe. Americans don't like their head of state to be insulted, regardless of politics, regardless of whether you're Republican, whether you're right-wing or left-wing. You don't come and insult the head of state of that country. It's like a foreigner coming over to here and insulting our king. We wouldn't put up with it.
Absolutely not.
It's disrespectful.
Absolutely
it's disgusting.
Not. And he's on a visa, isn't he? He's on a visa as well, right?
Well,
President Trump
he's a guest. He's a guest. He's not a citizen. Also, he should not be wading into politics as well. And I feel he's done this deliberately. He knows what he's doing. And I feel he's done this deliberately just when we've seen Prince William standing up, being absolutely fabulous with Princess Catherine at the carols. It was beautiful, wasn't it? Absolutely glorious.
All right, my crown polishers, buckle in because this clip had me pacing around my living room like a stressed corgi looking for snacks. We open with they saying two things came crashing into their mind at once. And honestly, same. First, they couldn't get over the fact that the Duke is out here acting like being a king is suddenly a bad thing. A bad thing. The way they said it had the energy of, does he know who his daddy is? Because pause, this man grew up in palaces, walked behind soldiers saluting him, and was literally born into centuries of monarchy like it's a family subscription plan. And yet he's out here shading the concept of kingship while his own father sits on the throne and his own brother is next in line. I mean, the poetic irony is so strong, I could bottle it and sell it at Kensington Palace gift shop. Then they remind us of the screamingly obvious point. He should not be dipping even a pinky toe into politics. And immediately the second speaker jumps in with the energy of a kettle exploding. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like they were ready to slam a gavel. And then comes the zinger. Just when you think the Duke cannot sink any lower or say anything more ridiculous, he pirouettes right past your expectations and hands you something even more embarrassing. The way they said utterly ridiculous, ooh, you could feel the royal disappointment radiating through the screen. They go on to say it's embarrassing to the country, to the reputation, to the entire idea of the crown. And honestly, the delivery was so sharp, I swear I felt the ghost of Queen Victoria clutching her pearls in the background. Then they bring up the warm rapport between the king, the Prince of Wales, and the U.S. president, because apparently those three are on the group chat now, sending each other thumbs up emojis, weather updates, and polite political niceties. Meanwhile, the Duke just crashes into that dynamic like a bull in a china shop wearing a microphone. And then they point out the real sting. He didn't just insult the U.S. president, he insulted the American people. Imagine standing in a country you are not a citizen of, enjoying the beaches, the sunshine, the commercial deals, the podcasts, the Netflix life, and then casually tossing shade at their head of state on national TV. It's like going to someone's house for dinner and telling them their cooking is awful before dessert arrives. You just don't do that, unless you want to eat your dessert in the driveway. They doubled down on this, saying the Duke is still very much a guest in America, not an American citizen, a British citizen who should be conducting himself like someone who understands diplomacy, not someone auditioning for Real Housewives of Montecito. And the speaker adds that they believe he did this deliberately, as in this wasn't a slip-up. This was premeditated PR mischief. This was intentional, and they said it twice, so you know they meant it. And then, as if the universe wanted to add an extra spoonful of chaos, they say this happened right as the Prince and Princess of Wales were being fabulous at a carol event. Absolutely glorious, they said. And you could practically hear the sparkle in their voice talking about the princess, glowing, elegant, serene, and everything the royal brand needs right now. Meanwhile, the Duke is out here stepping on rakes in public. And just when you think the commentary couldn't get any spicier, they circle back to the sheer audacity of the whole moment. There was this unspoken collective gasp, like everyone watching suddenly leaned forward and whispered, "Did he really just say that? There? In that room? On that stage?" It's the kind of social self-sabotage you only see when someone is so wrapped up in their own narrative, they forget what planet they're on. They talked about it with the tone of a teacher who's had enough, amused, exasperated, and one sarcastic breath away from assigning detention. And they made it clear this wasn't random, this wasn't innocent, this was a deliberate poke at a wasp nest while wearing a jacket of honey. They were practically begging him to realize how reckless it all looked. But at this point, everybody knows he's sprinting down the path paved with his own noise. By the end, the whole segment felt like a polite British roast wrapped in velvet. They went from embarrassment to politics, to diplomacy, to manners, to visas, to audience reactions, to family contrast, all with this beautiful undertone of, why is he like this? And you can't even blame them, because watching the Duke toss out political jabs while sitting in a country he doesn't belong to, especially when he's been told repeatedly not to mix monarchy and politics, is like watching someone pull the fire alarm at their own wedding. Chaotic, unnecessary, and yet somehow completely on brand.